This is Michael with Diamond Seed Astrology. Recently, I've published a series of 8 articles on Persephone, on my ideas about Persephone and this goddess who's um, a seminal figure, like one of the most important figures in the pre-Christian Bacchic tradition, the worship of Bacchus and the mystery traditions that were so incredibly prevalent in the Middle East and North Africa and in Italy and in the Black Sea region, Asia Minor. And Persephone is, some people have correlated Persephone to Mother Mary, the archetype of Mother Mary, because Persephone, according to mythology, gave birth to Zagreus or Dionysus, the baby Dionysus, who was, according to the Bacchic tradition, the actual inheritor of the title of the King of the Gods from Zeus. That he was actually supposed to be the one and only inheritor of the title of this the son of the sky god, the son of Zeus, and Zeus himself, which is little known, was but the Bacchus, the Bacchic religious tradition saw Zeus as being a sort of an aggregate of 3 gods at least, of Dionysus and of Hades and of Zeus himself. So, given this information, there's also a great deal of Bacchic literature that connects Dionysus or Zagreus to the age of Pisces. So this gives us a bit more information as to what the Jesus character, our archetypal Jesus, who this is supposed to be, and the way that Christ, the Christian Messiah, is actually the inheritor of this Bacchic tradition, sort of an inversion of the Bacchic tradition. Um, Christianity arose out of the Bacchic tradition. This is something that's quite apparent from the Greek versions of the New Testament and of the also from the Septuagint, from the Old Testament. You can see how the Abrahamic tradition is in fact sort of glommed onto and taken the Bacchic tradition and then proceeded to invert it and suppress it. Christianity has all of the trappings, including the Eucharist and the seasonal celebrations. These are all taken directly from the worship of Bacchus in its many forms around the areas that I've described. So when we understand this, and we also understand that Christianity and certain sects of Judaism were very much, they embraced astrology. The zodiac can be found in early Christian churches as well as in synagogues to the fourth sect, Judaic tradition, the Nazarene specifically. There's a zodiac on a floor of a synagogue that, it's my understanding that Josephus Flavius was instructed to destroy that particular zodiac in the synagogue of the Nazarenes. So there's this interesting sort of disconnect here. So if anybody who's familiar with the work of Ralph Ellis would know that there's a really compelling argument that that Jesus was in fact the instigator of the Jewish revolt in 68 AD, and there was a lacuna in time created in order to obfuscate the fact that this character was in fact somebody completely different, and also from a different place. This Jesus of Gamala that Ralph Ellis speaks of was in fact from the kingdom of Edessa, of a very particular fourth sect Jewish lineage, and he was in fact a king. And there is a mosaic at Huqoq that shows this character being the leader of an army that has elephants, and they are meeting with the head rabbi of at the temple. So what do we do with this? We have like a very compelling argument to show that Christianity arose from Bacchic tradition, according to the Greek literature of the day, which is pretty clearly rooted in the Bacchic tradition. Is it possible that this Jesus character, who was described in great detail in the in the New Testament, and was, according to the New Testament, was arrested with a young boy at 4 a.m. in a public park. Now I'm, bringing in the work of Dr. Hillman, Ammon Hillman, who I don't think Hillman and Ellis get along, because there's certainly been a rift between Neil, who is from Gnostic Informant, who is one of the biggest proponents of this Bacchus to Christ continuity. Ralph Ellis and Neil, Gnostic Informant, have been feuding for a very long time. So how do we get these ideas to kind of coalesce? Maybe we can't. Perhaps there were two Jesus characters that we need to potentially look at, and this there's also the work of Joseph Atwell, who talks about the obvious connection between the ministries of Christ and the places where those happened. In order, those are the same places and the same order where the Jewish revolt happened. So that exact place and order of battles between the Jewish revolt, those people, and the Romans, that was literally the same order of events in which Jesus was said to have given us the ministries. So so I have a really hard time like saying that either one of these is incorrect. It is certainly possible that the Greek versions of the Bible did intentionally leave out Jesus's being a king from a different place. There's a good reason to believe that they wanted Edessa to be erased from the historical record. That the true reason for Jesus's actions could well have been to become the next emperor of Rome, because he was in fact of a dynasty, and at this point in time, apparently they're like anybody who had a good claim to this power could well make the claim to be the next emperor of Rome. So this is my attempt to begin to reconcile these two things. I don't have an answer as of right now as to what, if one of these is correct and the other isn't. I think there's clearly from the Greek writings, we can see that Christianity was a mystery cult. It was very much like the Bacchic cults. It was at odds with the Roman Empire for a very long time because it was engaging in human trafficking. It was essentially a form of piracy that these folks were engaging in, and dealing in drugs, which I don't think they were illegal at the time, but they were certainly very dangerous because they could be, you know, these were being used as roofies to like bring people into a state of religious ecstasy. But there's plenty of examples where they were administered to people without their knowledge that this was coming. So I'm going to continue to try to investigate along these lines, and it certainly is possible that these things coexist, that Jesus as a mystery cult leader and Jesus as a revolutionary, a king who was in fact marching to attempt to unseat the Herod of Judea. These are all things that are possible, and if the nature of Jesus's actual political engagement, you know, that it's quite possible that his followers didn't really want people to know about that, because that was the archetype of this dying and rising god, the Dionysian character. This was it was already an established story. So to write it in this way, in which Jesus was performing all of the mysteries of the initiations and mysteries of the Bacchic cults, that would make complete and total sense, that they would want to present him like Dionysus, as opposed to in this more politically oriented kind of way. So that is my input on this right now. I don't think that there's many people out there who are trying to reconcile these two things, because the two camps, those who are on Ralph Ellis's side and those who are on the side of the Gnostic informant and the other, Hillman, they're completely seems like they hate each other. They're just really not in a place of reconciling. So I will be making some more videos to see what I can, as I try and get through this this idea. There's, as I said, it seems like nobody is really trying to bridge the gap here and to see if there's a way in which these two things can be true, or there's one or the other is true. All right, this is Diamond Seed Astrology, Michael Suter. You can find me at Diamond Seed Astrology on Substack, and my website is michaelmsuter.com.